in the
Yeah.
second attempt, the writer was slow, or you were fast?
Yes. Surprisingly, the rider was slow. British Columbia. Stress.
Stress is the right word. Right. So that is really insightful. Talking about the speaking, though I did not want you to say that I do record the classes. Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. So, as we know that we have had a great amount of success stories this month, and this month has been the luckiest so far. So, without wasting time, let's go and have chit chat with Neeru Panchal, who scored the fantastic score, TEF score, in the recent exam. And now let's hear from her how the journey has been. And I'm sure it's going to be fun, and you would be able to take a lot of learning from her. So let's get on with it. Neeru, so first I would like to know the journalist question. How do you actually feel today?
Oh my God. I'm really over the moon. I have cut 3 cakes, out of
Oh
which
my
one was
God.
from your end. That is my
Yeah,
happiness, and yeah, it's a magical feeling. I am overwhelmed at the
true.
moment.
I am sure. And which stage currently you are at right now, if in terms of Canada process? So when did you pass the exam? If you could tell the audience and how is it happening? What are you doing right now?
Right. So I appeared on 3rd March, and luckily on 8th March, I received my result, my TEF result. And within a week, on 15th, I was not even expecting an IT at that time.
Yeah.
I received it, and in the morning, I woke up with my inbox filled with the congratulations messages. So it was
Wow.
on 15th. Yeah. And
Right.
if I talk about what stage I am at the moment, so I'm done with the PCC, and other paperwork is in line. So I'm in the process at the moment of collecting the documents and submitting it.
Great. So do you see, like, it's amazing. We imagine in my time, I waited for a year to get an ITA. So how lucky or blessed you
Oh,
are. Just
yeah.
in 5 days, as soon as you clear tab, you have an ITA, you have a lot to do then. So it
Right.
sounds great. Moving further, Neeru, I would like to know, and I would like actually you to help with the beginner audience, please. At this
Mhm.
stage, people do feel lost and they really do not know which books to follow. So, which methodology did you follow, and which books really helped you, if you could help them to know more about it?
Right. So I started preparing for TEF Canada exam for French in 2020 when it was the pandemic and we were all at home.
Yeah,
So I just thought, let's begin this process of learning the language. I was a little skeptical about it because
right.
I know that it costs a lot, and you need to have heavy pockets to
Yeah,
prepare for it. But
yeah,
slowly and steadily, I realized that it's not the case, and a lot of material for beginners level is available on YouTube. So in the beginning, I just thought that I need to enjoy it, because otherwise, psychologically, I'll start to just deflect from my path. So I
yeah,
used to listen to songs. I used to watch a series called
mm,
Inner Peace, I guess it was, wherein
right.
there was an American who went to France, and there were a lot of vocab that I learned from there, and I enjoyed it.
Mm.
Then
Yeah.
learned
So
French
did you
with
have had any coaching? I'm sorry I interrupted you, but did you have any coaching during that time also?
I tried, but it was too fast for me at the time,
Oh,
and
right.
yeah, I couldn't do that as a working professional. It was really difficult for me, and people claimed to make me cover the event syllabus in 1 month or 2 months, but I thought that it's a bad idea, so I started to learn on my pace, and I did not take any
Right.
coaching. I tried practicing alter ego, but again,
Right.
after I think 3 chapters, I quitted the idea because it was too monotonous and too boring for me to learn. Even
Absolutely.
if, like, it made me understand that French is difficult because I was not
Yeah,
maybe, following the interesting path. So yeah,
right.
I did not follow any books, and even if I started, I couldn't complete it.
Don't tell me you did not follow any books, not even the famous editors, saison,
Um,
none. You bought them
yeah, no,
or you
no,
did not even buy them?
no, no, I did not. I tried in the beginning, but I must tell you that I'm a great reader, so I read a lot of novels. So there
Right.
was this novel, Le Petit Prince. So
Yeah,
I
that's lovely.
actually read that. And I followed these interesting ways to learn French at
Wow.
the beginner level. Post that, I think I needed professional advice, and then I thought of
Mm.
one-to-one coaching, and that's when I
Mm.
joined the group. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when we met. Yes, yes, absolutely. But it's really interesting, Neeru, because I have seen people taking all the bookish path, right? Do this, do that.
Mhm.
So how did you manage your grammar? You did all of that on your own? Because when you came to me, you were
Um,
pretty good at grammar. So I never
yes, yes.
had to stroll for that with you.
So for grammar, I actually followed this book, Practice French Grammar, and
Right.
I so this is Magro Hill, I guess. And in
Mm-hmm.
addition to it, I also downloaded Duolingo, and there also I really enjoyed learning that process. And because every day you have a streak, and then you also
Right.
listen to the
Yeah.
sentences that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
practicing. So it was again, something interesting, and something
Nice.
that motivates you to do it, do more lessons every day. So that way,
Yeah.
I, learned the grammar part.
Great. So that's a great takeaway for the students as a
Yeah.
beginner that just follow
Mm.
Duolingo. You really do not have to follow a lot of grammar books, a lot of textbooks rather. So that is
Correct.
really nice. And I coming to the TEF now. So I would
Mhm.
really would like to know, I've heard a lot of choice of a center. Does that really help to boost your score, or does that really help to pass the TEF exam? How was your experience?
So I heard that, a certain center would help you in getting a better score. But
Mm-hmm.
because Chandigarh was closer to me, I used to live in Chandigarh, and
Right.
I did not really want to travel long
Mm-hmm.
distances because that make me sick. So I
Mm,
appeared in Chandigarh both the times. I gave two attempts, and it went really well because
mm.
listening, reading, and writing, it's all the same everywhere. The
Yes, I
difference
know.
can come when you have speaking, but I think they have professionals sitting there, so more or less
Right.
their judgment would be same for your level.
Great, great. That's a great insight. So you just said that you did you had to take two attempts. So what did not work in the first attempt?
So for the first attempt, I really did not know where I stand and what my level.
Right.
I used to tell my teacher that I'll get an A2 or B1, but
Yeah, I
luckily,
remember.
yeah, but luckily I got B2 plus in speaking and writing thanks to
Right.
InfluencerAnks, my Ankita mom. And I
Yeah.
got B2 in reading and listening. That did not work. Sorry, I got a 445 in speaking, and I passed reading, but I couldn't pass speaking and the listening module. I got 406, I remember, in listening, and that did not I did not go through because during practice also I was scoring the same, and I
Right.
did not focus on that module. The reason
Right.
was that I felt that I will not be able to get even a B1 in writing. So I focused
Oh,
more on writing and speaking because I did not know where I stand. I never took DELF. So
right.
this was my first French exam. So that's why my
Absolutely.
major focus was on writing and speaking, due to which I believe that, I did not focus much on listening.
So here, Hero, I see that you're bursting all the myths. No books to follow, no delf to be taken, and still past F with flying colors. So because you talked about listening, so if you could just help people to know how you elevated your score in such a less time, within a month, you got 406 to 490. which is fabulous. And I remember you telling me in the first attempt, you even missed the questions because rider was moving really fast. So in the
Yeah.
second attempt, the rider was slow or you were fast?
Yes. Surprisingly, the rider was slow because
Oh,
now
nice.
I
We
could
should all fill the form of Chandigarh now.
because because the first time I felt everything is going too fast, but the
Right.
second time when I was just focusing on what they are saying, I could actually understand every single word. And
Yeah.
that is why I felt that the rider is running slow, because now I could understand it a little faster. So I
Right.
think that is why I felt that listening has become slow. It's become a piece of cake for me, because I
Right.
think that in the
Right.
second attempt I focused more on listening. I
What did you
even,
do?
I dissected every.
Give us your
Uh,
secrets.
so there's no secret. I think practice is the key. But
Yeah.
I listened to everything that was there on the internet, that was there on TEF Academy, Prep My Future, our
Right.
Telegram group. I remember it really helped me. There were
Yeah.
questions circulated, there were practice papers circulated, there were books,
Yeah.
and we could listen to the success stories of other people
Yes.
in our
Yes.
Telegram group, and we could
Yes.
even chat with them. We could even understand
Yeah.
what works for them. So that really
Right.
helped me. And listening is all about focus and practice. So I used to listen, and whichever answer I marked incorrect, I used to listen to that multiple times, understand why a particular option is the correct option for that particular audio, and that helped me a lot. There is a section
Right.
wherein we have to tell a radio,
Yeah.
an audio
Which
from the radio.
rubric? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
which rubric
Yeah.
is it?
It is a part
So
of you. Yeah.
yes. So I tried to find out what words are possible under which
Yeah.
particular rubric, and
Right.
I
Nice.
tried to spend more time on
Hmm.
understanding the right vocab for these particular audios, and that really
Genre.
helped me, I guess.
Right, right. So great, great. That's a great takeaway, Neeru. I definitely take that as a great learning for our audience. That so to give you an example, what she means is that I think so she knew that if it is ecology, then it is about environment. If they're talking about
Yeah.
sports activity, then it is obviously sports. So that is
Yeah.
great takeaway. I'm really impressed by your level of hard work that you've done, which was not known to me, guys. So apart from that, now let's turn a table around a bit. This is something which we haven't prepared. So this is a
Mhm.
quick rapid fire, Neeru, for you. I want you
Okay.
to please answer me quickly in one word now. What do you think when
Mhm.
these words come to you? What is the first word which come to your mind? So the
Okay.
first one is Canada. Only in one word you can answer.
British Columbia.
Okay, all right, okay. French.
Ankita, ma'am.
Oh, this is exaggerated. Okay,
Oh no,
success.
really. So I
Success.
told you I started in 2020 and I finished in 2023. And the
Yeah.
reason I it took me that long time was because I did not find you.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. It took
after we
you
started,
2.5 years to find me. Yeah.
yeah, because
Right.
I started practicing with you in
Mm.
November,
December.
and
November,
yeah,
India.
November,
Yeah.
December, and
Yeah.
within 4 months I was able to clear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this came really surprising for me, and if I had known that this would work, I would have taken
Yeah.
it in maybe 2021, and I would have
Yeah.
cleared it. So I think
In
all the
Canada.
credit goes to you. So TEF Canada, or French means Ankita ma'am to me.
Oh, that's really so kind of you, Niru. So, what I feel is that when things has to happen, it happens. So maybe the the entire universe wanted that you and I almost fly together. So that is why this hasn't happened earlier. Now coming to the next word I have for you is success.
Hard work.
Nice. Tef.
Stress.
Stress is the right word. Now I'm turning the table around, and since you
Okay.
mentioned this word stress, a very important
Mhm.
question for you. How do you
Mhm.
feel that is the TEF is really French exam, and how does that affect your mental health altogether in the entire process?
I think it depends from individual to individual. There are times when it's nothing is working for you. There are
Yeah,
times when you do not have any guidance. There are times when you feel that I've spent enough, and now I cannot spend another penny on it. When you
yeah,
almost give up.
yes,
But
yes,
then you see that this is the only way. This is your ray of hope, and
yeah,
you take your break, you stand up, and you start moving. But I think that TEF is it is a language exam, but more or less it's also about what strategies you follow, and that helps you shorten your timeline to
yeah.
pass your TEF Canada exam. So I think that we must always try to understand what works for us, because for me,
Mm,
a group class never worked. I never
hmm,
could have
hmm,
passed with 10 people or 12 people around me taking the
hmm,
session. It was always one-to-one sessions that helped me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we must understand what works for us, and we must only
Hmm,
work towards it, work in that fashion, because
hmm,
otherwise this will become a burden. As I mentioned, the books
hmm,
that I read
hmm,
were really difficult, were really
hmm,
monotonous, were really hard for me.
hmm.
So
Yeah.
whatever you enjoy, because language learning is not about learning a formula that you can implement
Yeah,
everywhere. Language learning
true.
is a journey that you should enjoy. It's a process
Yes,
that your
absolutely.
tongue takes. It's a time. So I
Yeah.
guess
Ears.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Listening is a
Listening
pain
gave
for
me a
many.
hard time for
Yeah,
ears.
yeah, absolutely. Many
Yeah.
students, they had to take that second attempt with me only for the listening, and that gives me a real pain for sure. So,
Yeah.
yes, you're right in terms of the mental stress, but what does that help if you learn or cram certain sentences in speaking or writing, Neeru? What is your take on that?
Well, we have to mold things, with time according to what all questions are there. But yes, there
Hmm,
has to be a certain frame. There has to be,
hmm,
a certain a language, a certain type of a
right.
language that you have to follow. For instance, in Fait
Hmm,
Divers, you have to
hmm,
show expressions like you were surprised, you were shocked,
hmm.
you were
Yeah,
almost crying, right? So these kind
right.
of expressions you need to have with you when you are attempting a faith diver. Same goes
Yeah.
with same goes with speaking module. When you are
Hmm,
excited, then you have to
yeah.
show, you have to make the other person
Hmm,
convinced about certain thing in section B. So you need to have
hmm.
those really interesting idioms, and I think
Yeah,
that comes when you memorize it. You cannot actually
yeah.
naturally create it, because these are something there's some standard things that you follow. So I think a mix of both works.
Right.
Channelizing or tailor making the answer according to the question that you are asked, or the argument that you are given, and also adding a certain standard statements with it. So I think it's a mix of both. And
Mm.
during our speaking sessions, there were a lot of interesting expressions. For
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
c'est simple comme dit bonjour. So it's
Bonjour.
really an interesting
Yeah,
expression. And if you
yeah,
use it, maybe you have memorized it, but you have to
yeah,
actually fit it in your communication, and that should
yeah.
sound natural. So I think it's a mix of both.
It's a
Yeah.
mix of both. And so, since you never read, as in you did not read a formal textbook, Neeru, so now it comes to my mind that how did you get your vocabulary fixed? So, you got C1 in writing, you got C1 in speaking. So, I'm sure you're doing something different from others. So, how
Yeah.
the vocabulary was something, you fixed it.
Well, to be honest, speaking, I started my practice for speaking and ended. and got
Right.
a C1 in it in just 3.5 months. That was
Right.
just
Yeah.
by communicating, yeah, one-to-one with
Yeah.
you.
I
And
remember.
I,
Yeah.
started to speak in our sessions only when I had a session with you. And then
Right.
from the Telegram group, I made a lot of
Yes.
friends, and I started
Yeah.
speaking with them. I used to have, three partners. I used to speak
Wow.
with all three partners. I used to have a session with you wherein I could get feedback, and I
Yeah.
used to get a lot of expressions. Then I used to
Nice. Yes.
record and then listen to it multiple times. I used to pen down all the
Right.
expressions. So this 3.5 month of practice was magical, and it really changed my level from A2 to C1, that I even today can't believe that it has happened.
It has
So I
happened.
think
Yeah.
yeah, I think that speaking is something that you can you can catch. You just need to know the grammar, and expressions, you'll naturally adapt them with practice. For writing, I believe that the frame of your Fait Divers or your writing
Yeah.
task too, it is
Yeah.
standard, right? You make
Yeah.
a certain number of paragraphs, you write
True.
certain number of arguments, you start your paragraph with certain sentence. So everything is standardized. All you have to put in is your content, your ideas, and your creativity. So for Fait Divers, I remember that you have a playlist on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was a very funny Faith Diver that you uploaded, wherein there
Which
was a
one is that?
retired there was a
Okay.
retired person you mentioned, and he wanted to give gifts. So he was sitting on a
Yes.
pile of toys, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah. Yeah.
really
It's very
interesting.
fun.
So from
Yeah.
there, I got to know that you can be creative in your favors. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
think
Absolutely.
that creativity you can add, and for that certain sentences you can memorize, and then you can try to squeeze it in your favors. So I think that way it works. It works.
We've talked about reading, sorry, we've talked about listening, writing, speaking. So now we come to the reading part. So how did you do? Was it what is your magical thing that you did that you got through in reading?
Reading was actually a piece of cake for me because
Ooh.
because as I mentioned before as well, I'm a reader. I read Le Petit France to start my French with, and
Yes.
the first 25 questions and the last 10 questions, they were pretty much easy, more or less intermediate, beginner to intermediate level. So they were easy to crack. But after 25 and until 40, these 15 questions gave me a hard time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could not relate the paragraph with the questions.
Questions.
For
Yeah.
that, I started practicing it in group. I
Right.
started to put my doubts in our Telegram community, and
Right.
I started to also go through the material that is uploaded in our group.
There.
So
Yeah.
that also
Yeah.
really helped me. Then
Right.
I think reading is more or less about your practice, and you need 38. So I used to count like 25, the first 25 questions, and 10 towards the end. So it's
Yeah.
35. I'm
Yeah.
3 points away, 3 questions away. So how can I cover that gap? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
these sources and group studies, even with reading, helped me. And then doubt clearance. Wherever you have a doubt, you post it in your group. You ask somebody
Yeah.
about it. You do not keep it in mind. So that really
True.
helped, and that
Yes.
is something that made me score 490 in reading.
Right. So that is really insightful. Talking about the speaking, though I did not want you to say that I do record the classes, but that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you. That was not a fun element. I wanted to just tell the audience
Uh-huh.
that yes, you were seriously very hardworking, and it was fun to practice with you. A very different question for you, Neeru, which this is a little away from the TEF though. So,
Okay.
what one piece of advice that you want to give to the audience, and what one piece of advice somebody gave you that stayed with you and that really worked for you?
Well, it was a roller coaster ride, my TEF journey. After second attempt, I was actually very sick when I gave my second attempt, and I just thought that I'll never appear again if it did not go through. If I did not go through,
Mhm.
because I actually studied for more than 10 hours every day. I used to sit until 4 in the morning, because I used
Mm,
to spend 3-4 hours, having
mm,
classes, talking to my partners, study
mm,
partners, and practicing. And then I used to write, read. The whole
yeah,
process is 4 hours.
yeah,
So even my parents started to ask me that, is there any alternative that you can
yeah.
do
I'm sure.
rather than
Absolutely. I'm sure.
because there's so many going through that stress.
Pain, stress,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So a piece of advice that I'd like to give, others would be to be consistent, to find the right mentor for you. Your process really shortens. Do not think that it'll cost me more, and that is why I
Mm,
should not choose this particular path. If it works for you, you'll
mm,
enjoy it. You'll not be stressed psychologically. You'll not be in pain, and
mm,
you'll do it, in the blink of an eye. You'll be able to be through.
yeah,
So always trust your guts, always think practically and think smartly. Do not go the hard way. Do not just join classes, do
mm,
books. Just think what works for you. As
right.
I already mentioned, that language learning is a process that takes its own time. So do not think that I'll be able to do it in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Take your time, and just be mindful when you are taking this journey of language learning. And the advice that somebody gave me would be, um, okay, that is a tough question. So a lot of people gave me a lot of advice
I'm sure.
because I was
Yeah.
because I was in a community wherein I had a lot of people who passed TIFF, and then I had I had communications with them, and
Hmm.
then there was my teacher who used to support me. There were days when I messaged her and said that it's not working for me, and then
Yeah.
she used to say that, okay, close your books, take your break, go outside, have a cup of
Yeah.
coffee with somebody, and then
True.
come back.
Yeah.
So maybe this could be an advice that somebody gave me, which is
Yeah.
contradicting to what I said. So
Yeah.
just take your breaks in time, and whenever you
Yeah.
feel stressed, try and have your space. Try and take a day off. It's not wrong to take a day off, and
Yeah.
we must have a balance between our mental health and our
Absolutely.
career, because health comes first before everything.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely. So, since you mentioned this word health, I would like to tell my audience. So, we were not anticipating that Neeru will go ahead and take the exam. So, because a day prior she was diagnosed with typhoid, she even tried canceling her exam. Good that she was told that she cannot cancel her exam. So, we wouldn't have been shooting this interview today. So
yeah,
she was suffering from typhoid. In fact, she couldn't speak to me a day prior on the day of her exam. In fact, several days, like 2 or 3 days after her exam, because she was not even in the right physical state and a mental state to tell me even how was her exam. So, and
yeah,
it was fine because we have had trust on each other. But the point is that she had that kind of a dedication, and in that typhoid, she got her desired score and the dream come true. So it is a big lesson for all of us that when we keep our goals above our situation, then the universe really conspire
yeah.
to shoot this interview. Yeah, so this is how it is now today. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of you and very happy for you. So just I'll leave you with a last question. Why Canada? What is it something that is inspiring you, and why do you want to go to Canada? Why did you learn French and have come a long way? So, just a
Mhm.
casual chat. I want to have you on that bit. Why Canada?
Right. So, yeah, so I started working in 2019, and it's been around 4 years that I have been, training people, grooming people. I work as a soft skills trainer. But then, I believe that I have potential
Wow,
to.
since you mentioned that, guys, even I took sessions from Neeru for the IELTS. So that is how
Yeah.
the things work, you know. So yeah, that's a great piece, great idea. So if I can impart her, I can help her with the French, and she can help me with an IELTS. So in case, although this is not we've been like the purpose of the video, but yes, for the IELTS, please feel free to approach her.
Right, right, right. So I believe that as I am 25 right now and I'm looking for career growth. I believe that Canada is a place where I can meet people from around the world and enhance my experience, and I can be global, right? I can meet people
Yeah,
from all corners of the world. That would be first thing,
absolutely.
and second thing is that I believe that. The growth is fast in Canada as compared to in India. Practically
That's
speaking,
it.
practically speaking, I won't be able to buy a house at least for next 15 years if I'm in India. But if I'm in Canada, I've seen people, having their own houses after 4 years or 3 years of being there. So that is another thing. I have this dream
Yeah,
from I think 3 years now that I want to
yeah.
have my own house in Canada.
Wow.
Another thing would be the lifestyle. That is what we live for, right? To have
True.
a better lifestyle, to have people of right mindset around you, people, who thinks about growth. And I think that in my country, my growth would not be that fast as it can be in Canada. So probably that is the reason I'd like to move abroad and grow faster. Definitely with PR, you can actually come to India, stay here for 3 years,
Ve-
and you just have to stay there for 2 years. So let's see how it works.
Yeah,
It's all in the
yeah.
head at the moment, but
Right.
ground reality, I'll know when I'll be there. So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So that's it, guys. So we have had Neeru Panchal with us, who have passed the TEF with flying colors, and who have given us a great picture and a real image that how does the TEF journey goes through. And she is young, dynamic, motivated. And in case you have any questions related to her exam strategy or anything else, please feel free to comment, subscribe to my channel, so that I can help you more, and I can maybe, help you to understand, and I understand what exactly you're going through and can help you further. Thank you so much, Neeru, for being with us. And it was really nice talking to you. And thank you for enlightening our audience.
It's a pleasure, ma'am. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Neeru. Over. Signing off,
Bye.
guys. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel and comment in case you have anything for us. Neeru and I will be very happy to help you. That's what we were here for. Thank you. Au revoir.